Well, hello YouTube. In this tutorial we're gonna create something that will look like a database for students, like data for first name, last name, grade, automatic ID, stuff like that. Something like MySQL database where you have a table into that stuff and rows and columns, but in a C and with the help of structures. So let's create one of those structs. Student will be generic name for it, and then we will proceed with imaginary columns. SID, that will be for automatic student ID. Character, first name, this will self-explanatory up till, I don't know, some people do have very long names, 50 or 20, something like that. That's maximum number of characters. And also for last name, okay, this one will be, if I'm right here, this will be for grade, and this one will be for, I don't know how to type last name. So grade is 50 is too much, so just 5. Right. Well, what about some alias for this? Like, this is generic name, and what about real stuff or alias? Well, students, let's say, many of them up till, I don't know, 10, let's say. Right, so let's create stuff. First thing is we need total number of students when we are entering stuff. We need to know that in advance. So this will be integer, of course, total, let's say. And x we need that thing to in a for loop, in both for loops. So x will be used as a helper inside for a loop. But you know that if you're in this playlist, in these tutorials, probably. Let me compile this to see, do I have any kind of typo? Okay, that's cool. So information to end user, what needs to be printed, like total number of students to enter. Of course, that will end up inside a total. Scanf, we are working with integers here. So %d, and we're gonna flush that into that total. Very important stuff this total is. And now we are going to enter data, so we can print that. Enter data, this is information to end user, and we are proceeding with for loop. So starting point is x will be 0, and top level will be total, because this is a starting point, and total at the moment is what we decided that amount of students we are entering will be. X must be less than total, of course, that's logical stuff. We are not skipping anything, so x++. And exactly how we are going to get that data? Well, first we're gonna print some kind of vertical differentiation, because it's visually easier for us in a DOS, in a shell console, call it whatever you like. And then we need to put print ID, because we wanted that thing to be automatic. So we don't want to manually enter that, just print that thing at the moment automatically. So what is a name for this thing? It is students, okay? Students, so this is our target, and this time we are searching ID for X, okay, for that specific student, and then we wanna print stuff for SID, and that SID is automatic. Well, how exactly we are going to get it for that student? Well, obviously we are going from 0, but this is in our heads when we have for loop. But student cannot be 0 because student exists. So we will say x+1. Okay, so this is just a starting point, and this is useful stuff for when we are printing. Okay, because you need to start from 0 here. It's logical when you are entering stuff, but when you are seeing it, when you are printing it in reality, student cannot be 0, it must be 1. So this is why we have +1 here. Okay, once when we have it, we can print it. So let's do that, printf, and we're gonna say that ID of that specific student is integer, so placeholder d, next line, and we are concatenating that with the student s, that specific x. This is for student, and we are targeting SID. So for every student which is set through x, we are targeting that specific ID for that student. So this is creation of that thing, and this is usage or printing of that thing. So that was for ID, okay? And now we will enter first name, like first name a little bit of new line if you like that, or maybe not important. Scanf. Here we are working with strings, so %s, and we are putting that into what? Into data for students, but that specific X, and into first name. Okay, so you cannot just say first name. How programming language will know what you're talking about? So you must target that big database, big table, let's say, and that specific student, and then first name for that specific student. Okay, so that's the approach we are using here. And I'm a little bit lazy, so I'm gonna copy paste this 2 times, because this will be for last name, and this one will be for grade. This one will be for grade. Okay, we are targeting that grade, and now we can print that thing. So this was for data entry. Let's test that actually. Oh, printf, right? Just a second. Okay, this is partially done program, like total number of students to enter 1, and enter data for first name, I don't know, W, and grade will be 1. And there you go. So this is just for entry. Now we are going to extract stuff. So this part will be for printing data. Printf, like printing data. And we can proceed with the for loop, of course. Again, absolutely same stuff. We have starting point, we have ending point, which is less than total is ending point, and we are not skipping anything, so x++. And now we will have vertical differentiation, so I'm gonna steal this piece of code, put it right here, and printing data. So printf id is something that we care about. Of course, this will be integer, and we are going to get it when we say previous 6, which is 0, but in reality we must say +1, because students do really exist, so you cannot say the student is 0. So this was for ID. Now we will print stuff for first name. Okay, with the help of put as function, we are targeting that specific students, which is specific X, and concretely first name for that student. And I'm gonna steal this piece of code because I'm kinda lazy. This will be for last name, this will be for a last name, and this will be for grade. Grade, uppercase G, and this will be grade. Okay, we have that. And yeah, I think we are done. So maybe I wanna close this with a new line. Who knows? Right. Okay, let me test will this work, and then we will explain one more time. Total number of students to enter. Let's say 2. Okay. First name will be, I'm really bad with names. Annabella, let's say. Last name Fox, and grade will be 10 for Annabella. Right. First name will be Michael. Last name will be, oh, I'm so bad with this, like Fox again, I don't know. And again 9, let's say. And there you go, we do have results. So this was for entering data up till here, okay, here. And then we are printing data. I'm gonna fix this, don't worry. And we do have all these results. So let's fix that thing. Okay, right here I can have some kind of printf header, something that will, oh right, so I can do this like this. Just a second, something like that. Okay, let me copy paste this right here. So this is for data entering, and this is for data printing, let's say. Okay, I can do this through dedicated header, dedicated constant for headers, and that vertical differentiation or whatever, like lines in a formula or in a table, but I don't know, I'm lazy. So let's test this. Total number of students to enter 1, and there you go, we have something that's decent. I need to add a couple of these things, 3 of these. Well, let's do that, because if I don't, then 1, 2, 3. and also here 1, 2, 3, and they will be, I think, equalized vertically now. Oh, there you go. So first name Annabella and last name Fox, and grade will be absolute 10 for Annabella. And there you go, you have printing data. These things can be used as a constant. Again, I have this problem, so yeah, well, 1, 2, 3, and now everything will be fine. But, oh, not here, 1, 2, 3, but down there, 1, 2, 3. Now let me test that. 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, there you go. So it is a line now. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's explain one more time what we are doing. Like we do have basic structure with automatic ID. We don't care about manual ID. We don't have time for this. Let's say, so we are doing that stuff automatically through x equals 0 and x plus 1. First name, last name, and grade. Couple of students up till 10. This is starting point, starting integers. Grabbing that first very important stuff, which is total, and then grabbing all these individual thingies like first name, last name, and grade. So this is for grabbing purposes, and before grabbing we are doing printing that ID, so that end user know, like a teacher or something, or clerk, or I don't know, that they know what kind of ID we are talking about here. And then we are printing data almost in a same way, like with a for loop. Again, in a report we have x plus 1, which is absolutely same stuff as this thing right here, and then we are printing data, and that's pretty much it. This code is a little bit longer, but you know, it's relatively small structure. So yeah, you need to type a little bit more in a C. Let me select all here, and I'm gonna format using A-style to see how their standards will look alike when we talk about typing stuff. Okay, well, bracket is here, and a little bit of spaces and a little bit of more clearer, let's say, than my typing, but it depends how you like it, you know. Some people like all these lines packed, you know, like no vertical white spaces. So that's also okay if you're practicing, but in production, I don't know. It depends a lot about company and colleagues and stuff. Okay, thank you for watching. As always, share this channel with other people, and see you next one. Ciao, ciao.